traditional battle station.
Jamil Payne.
It's over, Anakin! I have the high ground!
Kyle Fulton.
Shut up! Shut your goddamn mouth!
DJ Jack Randall.
Take him to Detroit. No! No, not Detroit!
Jack Randall. Randall.
Savior of the universe! Stab your fingers, stab your neck. Stab your fingers, stab your neck. Stab your fingers, stab your neck. Stab your fingers.
Hey guys, I need to ask y'all a question. My coworker brought this up to me. Am I know it all more than anybody else y'all know?
No.
Oh, okay. Cause look, like he said in the way he was joking, we cool, but like he watches a lot of internet and he be trying to tell me shit, and I be like, well, that's not true. Like,
Yeah.
how you know? Like, cause I know, cause like that's not. Look, like last night, right? I was watching something about Mike Myers, and he was talking about Von Troyer, right? And he was like, man, he was in Island of Dr. Monroe. Like, no, he wasn't.
I'm not even sure he was born yet for Island of Dr. Moreau.
Well, for the remake with Val Kilmer.
Yeah, that's what he was talking about. I'm like, no, what the hell?
You thought he was the little Malaysian boy, Malaysian man.
Yeah, that guy wasn't even an actor. He was just like the smallest guy in the world, wasn't he?
Yeah. Or in that area or whatever, and Marlon Brando thought he was fucking amazing, and you will amuse me.
Yeah.
Come.
You get more lines than Val Kilmer. But no, like it's just weird because like he'll be trying to tell me something and I'll stop him halfway. He's just like, what the hell, man? I'm like, dude, I'm sorry. What you want me to do? Like, I can't just have you saying wrong shit. Like,
yeah, what are we supposed? What are you supposed to do? Just pretend that you don't know it?
Well, I know what it is, right? I know, like, because, like, he's not a dumb dude, and he's like 40. It's like, the common misinformation. Jack know this one, like, Tommy Hilfiger said he want black people to wear his clothes on Oprah. I'm like, well, no, dude, that's not true. But so like, he'll just go around just spewing out facts, and like shit that I don't know. I immediately in front of him go look it up on my phone. He like, why the fuck you gotta look it up?
Because that shit sounds stupid.
Like, man, did you know Jay-Z bought our Tupac whole catalog? Like, really? I looked it up, like, no, that's not true. That's a rumor from 3 years ago. That shit never happened. See, here it goes. And he'll just look at me, just vexed and perplexed.
I do that shit to my friends all the time, because my friends are always on some... Jesus, one more person tells me, Bill Cosby got railroaded because they tried to prevent him from buying NBC.
By NBC? Oh, my God.
That was 1995. That was 1995. And he didn't have the money then.
This Bill Cosby thing is fucking annoying.
So, just so, like, every day with me and him, y'all, it's just like this cat and mouse game of me just saying, no, that's not true. And this is the thing. He's not dumb. It's just he can't discern from, like, credible sources to bullshit sources.
Oh.
So, like, every once in a while, not every once in a while, he'll say shit that's true. You know what I'm saying? Then I'm like, I already knew that. That also makes him kind of upset. Like, oh, well, yeah, I knew that. Like, one day, I'm listening. Everybody know the rapper Drake, right?
Who?
He like,
I know of him.
The rapper Drake, right?
Who?
Drake. The rapper.
Drake.
Oh, you being funny.
Rapper.
Yeah. One of the best rappers out,
I'm sorry. Yes, I know Drake. Come on, man. It's like, Beyonce, right? Come on, dog.
But no, he like one day I was watching on YouTube, like, man, you heard, man, it's crazy, man. He was dating that transgender person. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Yeah, man, I heard he was dating a trans.
Just come up with shit.
Like, dude, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, yeah, I mean, it's cool, that shit in style. Now, I'm like, dude, he ain't dating no transgender person. Well, shit. I like, nigga, that would be on the news everywhere. That would be big. They would talk about that for a whole news cycle. Like, what now? That shit ain't a big deal now. So why would it be on the news? Like, that would be everywhere. Like, every fucking where. Like they wouldn't stop talking about that shit for months. The biggest rap star in the world is dating a dude. They picked Caitlyn Jenner on the fucking Vanity Fair magazine. You think they ain't gonna pick? Like, dude, I like, dude.
Especially a stereotypical because even though he's not a stereotypical hyper-masculine, tough guy rapper, you hear rapper, that's what you think. And so a rapper dating a transgender, yeah, that's front page.
Yeah, trans friends would agree.
That'd be fucking huge.
Somebody saying it's not a big deal anymore would get the funniest fucking looks from my crowd of friends. You have no idea.
And that's the thing. He said it so casually. And one that's not like, dude, have you always? I just said, like, dude, have you always been like this? I like, do you just say shit casually, just misinforming motherfuckers?
Well, I got my online friends who are constantly posting absolute nonsense, and then I'm that friend who goes right behind him and says, no, none of this is true. First of all, in this entire article you posted, there's not one hyperlink. Not one. Yeah. there's a one hint right there.
That's your first
Two,
sign.
There's no author. Or the author's name is like posted by Tony.
Yeah. This is...
And no one is quoted. There are no quotes. It's just, and then this person said this. Well, how do I confirm this? There's nothing, there's no links. No sources.
Yeah, I was just like, dude. Then one day, like, man, you heard like Britney Spears got a sex tape? No, she doesn't. Like, man, no, she doesn't, because that would be everywhere. Like, that would be, you wouldn't stop hearing about that. Like,
bruh, we were watching the Royal Rumble, me, Tommy, and Bear, and then Trish Stratus came out, and then me and Tommy lost our shit. Bear's he's not casual anymore, not for the past year, but he was formerly casual, if not new, okay? New to the fandom. So me and Tommy are losing it because Trish Stratus comes out, and Bear's like, oh, yeah, dog, man, you see her sex tape? Bro, we stopped cold, hit the fucking pause button, looked at that nigga, was like, what? What sex tape? Oh, yeah, Trish Stratus got a sex tape. Me and Tommy kept looking at each other like, what? No, she doesn't. And Bear kept insisting, and me and Tommy kept insisting, we would know.
Like, I just tell him, like, dude, you gotta check your sources. Then, like, he listens to this one, he watches a lot of YouTube. He listens to this one dude that has no connections to nobody.
Right.
And he just be spouting out shit, and you never see his face. It's just a blank black screen or just pictures. I'm like, who's this nigga? Like, oh, it's this Carzino, man. He be keeping me up on shit. I'm like, dude, and I listen to this dude, like, this dude, what the fuck he talking about? He's mostly just giving opinions. Like, what the fuck did you do?
Do you remember about 10 years ago, there was this DVD floating around that was supposed to be an expose of Hollywood and the expose of Black Hollywood, and how the white Hollywood Illuminati, whatever, makes the black actors do unspeakable homoerotic acts in order to get jobs and stay paid.
Yeah, I vaguely remember that.
This it's not only it's like 2 parts, so it's good, like 3 hours long entirely.
Shit. It's the Lord of the Rings of bullshit. Great.
Exactly, and this was floating around my circle of friends for a good few months, and every once in a while somebody, you have a session going on and somebody will pop it in and be like, what in the fuck is this? If y'all don't turn this bullshit off. Hey, my man got a point though. I'm like, who is this? This is just some dude. It's just some dude. He has no credibility. He's interviewing other people and looks like, just like barbershop interviews. Like, who are these other people he's interviewing? This is a guy just interviewing other guys. And they're talking about, then Dave Chappelle and this guy did, and Ving Rhames and You don't know any of these people. You don't know any of the people who know any of these people. Where are you getting this information from? I'm like, this is. And then I had to tell one of my friends, like, dog, this is like if I grabbed a video camera and just started, just put it up in front of me and just started talking crazy about anything. I listened to it. Oh, you dumb motherfucker! I swear to God, dog. I swear to God.
And on that day, you swore you would do just that, and the podcast was born.
He held his fist in the air and shook it.
That's the funniest shit in the universe, Kyle.
All right. Thank you.
And that is the origin story of the Jack Random podcast. Shit.
So,
now I've got tears in my
I'm glad to hear this. So it's just nice to know that my friends are the same way. Like, just like, no, I'm that guy. Like, no, I just can't let that.
Maybe it's just not that unusual that the three of us found each other, because I think we're all that guy.
Yeah.
You know what's funny too? Jay, you seen Barbershop, right?
Oh yeah, it's been a million years, but yeah.
But like you remember, I was just like, I know it was made by dumb people, and I hate to say it, because the movie is actually pretty okay. But you know, they had the one smart nigga in there that was always wrong. I oh, this is them really get smart motherfuckers. Like, if this nigga don't exist, like not like this, like oh, he's educated, but he wrong about everything. Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, they don't like that type of nigga, huh? That knows shit. So they're gonna make him look dumb. He gonna get his comeuppance every time he say something.
Oh shit, you gonna make me watch that shit again. Well, look.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No. You know what? This is airing. Greetings, Earthlings, and welcome to the show. I am your host, the Macadocious DJ Jack Random, and joining me, as usual, is my persnickety podcast partner, Mr. Kyle Fulton. Yo, Kyle, what's happening, man?
Hey, Jack, how's it going? Nothing much. Nothing much. Just,
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is what happens. We record before fucking 9:30 in the morning. And also joining us is the man who brings balance to the show. He is our friend, the former platinum artist known as Young Spiffy. He is Jamil Payne. What up, Jamil?
Oh, you should have aimed for my head. I couldn't even say that right after all that, man. Shit.
Oh man, no.
And look,
cool.
before 9, hey, look, I worked all night, so I haven't had sleep yet. So
okay, so this promises you can be probably a little goofy then.
A little shit. Am I ever not goofy?
Well, I suspected that you hadn't been off work for very long the way we started this conversation.
Yeah.
Well, look, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and children of all ages, all of our listeners, I want you guys to know that, as probably is evident, we did no prep whatsoever. I just called these assholes, and we're jumping right the fuck into it because we saw an awesome movie, but we're not going to get into it right now because, man, God of War is killing me.
Oh, you? Okay. Okay, we can talk about that. We go ahead. Yeah, we can talk about that.
Well, it's not killing me. It's not killing me. I can only play for, just a few hours a week. And so the other day, Bear came over, and he's a bit ahead of me in the game. And so we're watching some shit. He's like, man, come on, man, put the game on. Like, for what? It's a one-player game, and we're in different spots in the game. Come on, man, I can see where you are, and blah, 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 blah. I turned it on. And he's like, okay, now do this. Now run over here and do this, and run over here and do this. And my girl's looking at me because she can see I'm getting mad. Because he's telling me how to play my individual fucking game. God of War is a very singular, personal experience. At least this game is, because there are many routes you can take and there are many options you have. When the first game was way more straightforward. Way more straightforward. Anyway, Bear is holding my hand through these traps and puzzles, and eventually I stop and say, God damn it! If you don't shut the fuck up! I need to learn how to do this. Part of this game is the discovery, and you've got me, manipulating this and that but I don't know why I'm doing it. You're just telling me to, and I'm missing stuff. And he's like, there's nothing in that area. Why are you going over there? Don't go over there. There's nothing there. There might be. No, I looked over there. There's nothing. You might have missed it. And eventually my girl was like, if you guys don't find a television program to watch, because there's going to be bloodshed in here. Then eventually I got to a spot, okay, all right, Bear, all right, what I do here? Nah, somebody told me to shut the fuck up. I was like, okay, you know what? Fair enough. Fair the fuck enough. Let me play my fucking game. It was rough. It was rough.
Well, I tell you, my problem right now is I think I'm just gonna put the game on easy. I'm crippled by this game. The game is not hard, but the way I play.
Sure, that's why.
Kyle, whatever, Kyle. You just feel good. You find be the game on medium. So
yep, I sure do. I feel fucking fantastic. I am bad at action games.
The action game on medium, good. But no, like, good job, Kyle. It just took you 3.5 decades to be competent at video games.
That's mean.
It's not wrong. It's not fucking wrong.
No, because, like,
terrible at action games.
Because I'm over here trying to bare my soul, and you over here fucking, like, no one asked you for your bravado.
I just skipped on through the game with a lollipop in one hand and...
I've never gotten to do this before. I can't even bring myself to Lord Dark Souls over people, even though I can't even bring myself to be like, well, I beat that because, like, I beat that through repetition and sheer force of will. Not,
I mean, that's how you're supposed to play Dark Souls, apparently.
Right.
Mostly, yeah. But anyway, not the point. Point is, let me have this one and continue what you were saying.
No, you're right. Go ahead. No, this is my problem. It's the way I play video games. And, like, at this point, I was ahead of both of you at one point.
True.
And now Kyle has beaten the game, and you're and Jack is significantly ahead of me. And the reason is two things. I don't have a lot of time. I may be, in a week, I might have all of maybe 7 to 8 hours to play. The problem is, the way I play is, I'm very thorough. And I'm just falling behind because, like, I want to get as powerful as possible. Yep. So I go do I could go beat this person in with my ass, or I could go explore all these islands in the Lake of Nile for the next 7 hours.
Yep.
And it's just killing my time.
Yep.
And like it just is. And, like, at this point, I don't want to worry about it anymore. Yep. Not because I'm doing fine. Like, I'm doing great. Like, there's parts Jackals having problems with, like, I just broke. It's not even that. It's just like I want to get powerful. I want to get strong as quick as I can. And to make this game easier, not through, like, because I put it on easy, just because I just want to be more powerful. That by the time I get... Put it this way, I'm the type of guy, when I fight the final boss in the RPG, I am 15 levels up from where I need to be.
Yeah, I understand that. You said that last time. I completely understand that, and that's kind of where I am, but for different reasons.
And so I'm just like, maybe I just should put the game on easy, like, so I won't have to worry about that, and I can just blow through this story, because we're getting to that point now where this story is about to be spoiled for me.
Yep.
Like, I've already dodged a couple of bullets, and I'm just like, maybe I just need to get through this story.
I don't think that you're wrong.
No, I think you're absolutely right, because...
And again, the game is not hard. That's not the problem. It's just, I'm crippled.
The combat is tougher than the previous games, and one of the reasons for that is the camera. And...
you can't see shit behind you.
There you go.
No magic dodge.
Right,
either.
And so you're counting on those little arrows to point out enemies behind you, and occasionally you've got a companion or two to tell you on your left. So,
yep.
But yeah, so like, it's not even. I mean, yes, the combat is difficult, which also makes the game longer, because I'm fighting, like, I'm on these islands fighting bosses like 2 levels above me that I got no business fighting. Like, I can do this.
Bear called me complaining that he got his ass kicked by a Valkyrie. I said, I haven't met her yet. He said, but when you do, just go the opposite direction. You're not ready. Okay. So then I ran into her. I was like, fuck it. And I died twice, but then knocked her out on the third time. It's just patience, really. I was like,
Yeah,
she wasn't a problem. Then I ran into another one. 3 hours. 3 fucking hours. And eventually I said, hey, you know what? I'm not powerful enough. And I just went on about my fucking way. I'll be back.
That's my point. I would have stayed there till I beat her.
3 hours. I gave it, dog. Literally 3 hours. And then somebody was telling me, hey, man, well, you should have a resurrection stone. No. I don't need a resurrection stone because if I get killed, look, I'm good at God of War. I'm good at that particular style of combat. If I get killed, that means I need to set the controller down and think about my life for a minute. I don't need a resurrection stone. I need that break. I need that screen to go dark.
But yeah, all these choices, it's just crippling me because I'm just going to do everything.
The game is way, way bigger than I anticipated.
Oh my fucking God.
I mean, maybe it's just because I'm so used to shit like Witcher 3 or whatever, but to me, I at no point felt like overwhelmed by the number of choices or options of things to do because really there were only like 7 or 8 things to do.
Well,
and I'm used to like 90,000 things to do.
Kyle, remember, Kyle, I also put 200 hours in The Witcher 3.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, me too.
And again, The Witcher 3, no one is going to spoil that story for you because as popular as Witcher 3 is, it's not critical mass like God of War. So I'm just like, I need to get through this story. And I just like, I think I'm just going to pit and eat and just breeze through this motherfucker, I think.
I recommend that you both do because it's like the best God of War story by far, and there are some genuine twists and surprises.
Yeah,
so,
I'm really digging it so far. I figured out a few things just because of my half-assed knowledge of Norse mythology. They're like again spoilers. By the time the game hadn't been out for a good 48 hours, and the thing I messaged you about the other day, Kyle, the trophy I unlocked, that had been spoiled for me before I'd played for more than 6 hours. Somebody told me
that was spoiled for me too. I know where it is, and it was spoiled for me also.
I tried hard not to spoil those things.
Yeah, I knew when you and I talked about it, Kyle, that I knew that part already.
And that's my point. Like when that happened to me like a few days ago, I was just like, it just made me rethink my whole style of play. Like,
and that's my problem with. And you guys know this about. I've told stories about him spoiling shit for me before. Bear has no filter when it comes to spoilers. He doesn't. It's not something he thinks about at all. He's okay. Then you're gonna fight this guy, and then you're gonna fight this guy. Dude, shut up. I like to discover this stuff. He doesn't care. Like, I'll go see a movie before him, and okay, what happened? Just tell me. Well, you gonna go see it? Yeah, but I don't care. Just tell me.
Yeah, and I got a couple friends like that. Steve,
Yeah.
He either asks for spoilers or he says that his brain is like so fluid in there that if I tell him a spoiler, he'll still be surprised by it. So he's on board for spoilers. But I don't get it.
When we first started the show, you guys would talk about a game or two, like for example, Uncharted. And then you say, hold up, Jack, have you played Uncharted yet? I was like, no, not yet, but it's on my list. And you guys would immediately stop talking about it. Oh, I don't want to spoil it. I was like, but I literally am not going to remember. It's going to be like 4 or 5 years before I get to the game. And it was literally 3 years, and I finally got Uncharted, and I still haven't played it. And Lord knows I don't remember any of what we talked about. So all that shit's going to come as a shocking surprise. But my complaint about Bear is it'll be something like, Ragnarok, and I'm going to see it tomorrow. So tell me about it now. What?
Yeah. My friend at work that I was just telling you guys about, he's just vexed. He's like, well, just tell me the movie. Like, I can't do that. Why? Because I don't want to spoil it for you. Like, just tell me. Like, I'm still gonna go see. Like, no, he does. Like,
I feel like I'm robbing you of moments.
Yeah. People don't get how much that pains us when someone says, well, just tell me. Like, no, I can't. I don't want, because number one, I feel that that's wrong because that's how I've been taught. Number two, I don't want you to think, I don't want that to give you carte blanche to think it's okay for me to tell for you to tell me shit.
Yeah.
That's never okay. Because I will murder. I will fight you.
If I see something fucking huge and no one else has seen it yet, and I have got to fucking spill to somebody, that's when I talk to Steve. But even then, I have my little spoiler rules. Like, I won't just toss out casual spoilers just anywhere for at least a year before after something comes out. If somebody wants spoilers, I make them confirm it for me 3 times. I give them a chance to back down. I'm like, are you sure? You know, because, you know, I've had to edit it a little bit just because it's kind of hard to hang out in the Facebook groups we hang out in without talking about the stuff. And like, I don't want to ever spoil it for anybody, but once I see the spoiler 30 other fucking places, I might as well, right? But I try to just keep that to those groups, you know.
I got 2 spoiler stories. One is the story from Jack from Force Awakens. That right there, it wasn't funny at the time, but now it's funny. Jack was gonna fly to Texas and beat somebody up. Seriously, boys, I'm not lying. Like it was one of the biggest spoilers. The first day the movie came out, couldn't even wait the weekend. And like did it on purpose, malicious, just hateful. And I tried to warn him. And he seen it as I warned him. Like I tried, Jack, no. He like I just said fuck. And
it was such a blatant spoiler that maybe it's a lie. Maybe it's a lie because it was such a blatant.
Then when I have a friend, one of my closest friends. And he never understood the spoiler thing, and he will spoil shit for me. And we were arguing and would almost come to blows because he thought that shit was funny. And don't be so butthurt. And which, you know, just make a motherfucker mad, right? Like, motherfucker, I come see you right now. So then he got to Game of Thrones, like heavy. And last season, something big happened with a creature. And he was over some girl at one of his friends' house in the hood, and this girl just spoiled it for him. And when I say he was upset, and he called me and said, you know what, I understand now. I'm sorry. I apologize. I never do that shit again.
Oh, man. Like, you know, I was really wishing you were the one who spoiled it for him.
No. Because again, I'm not gonna stoop to that level. But just
I am Team Petty through and through.
But like he almost got violent with this girl. He didn't, but he was seriously contemplating throwing this broad out the window, and he was not playing. And again, she didn't do it maliciously. She just didn't understand. Like he didn't until he was invested in something. Like.
That's what I say. People who are okay with spoilers are generally people who don't connect emotionally with the shit they're watching.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I connect emotionally with this shit. You spoil it for me, it just ruin it. It doesn't. I mean, I guess it doesn't completely ruin the experience, I guess, but it certainly hurts it. And
I mean, look at it like this: spoilers for Game of Thrones. Can you imagine someone said, "Hey, Ned Stark dies in the 9th. The main character dies in the 9th episode." Can you imagine knowing that in the first episode? You know how fucked up that is to ruin that for somebody.
My mother. Excuse me. My mother has always enjoyed British mysteries and British mystery shows and or movies, and so I've picked that up from her naturally. So there's a show. I'm always asking her what's the new hot show she's watching or whatever. So there was a show called something in Paradise, Living in Paradise, Trouble in Paradise, something about Paradise. British show about a British cop sent to an island to be like their head cop on this island. He's straight-laced and so very, very British, and they're so laid back and islandy. And the first episode was, it was kind of funny. It was very dramatic, and people got killed and they got detected and investigated and caught. The nice little nice cast. It seemed really cool, and so I watched like the first 3 episodes. I'm like, hey mom, this is not bad. Thanks for recommending it. She said, yeah. And so when the lead detective gets killed at the beginning of season 3, it just really fucked me up. I'm like, whoa, wait, what? And she's like, oh.
Why would you do that?
Right, and so I was like, well, I guess I won't be watching this show. She's like, no, I didn't want to ruin it for you. It's still a good show. No, mom, thank you. Thank you, sorry. No, I'm good. Speaking of spoilers, when we get into Infinity War, look, if you haven't seen it, just turn this fucker off now.
Damn, you enunciate the shit out on Infinity, by the way. I just want to let you know,
Did I not say Infinity correctly? What did I say?
Oh, you did. You just said it, enunciated really carefully.
I said Infinity.
Yeah. I was just about, like, whoa.
The Infinitalati War. As long as I'm not mispronouncing war, I think we're good. But yeah, we're going to spoil the hell out of this movie. So,
Yep.
So you guys got maybe another 5 minutes of podcast before you need to remove the headphones and pull the aux jack.
Let's say 10, because I wanted to argue about James Cameron. I'm still upset with y'all about that. But no, go ahead, Kyle.
I can't troll in peace. Okay, fine.
Yeah. All right. I just wanted to talk real quick about how fucking annoyed I am about this game series, right? I don't know if any of you out there have played the Yakuza games, but I haven't until now, right? Well, they've never been really big outside of Japan. They're basically very critically liked, almost across the board. There's 8 of them now.
Real quick,
and
is it like a open world style GTA style kind of
on an extremely small scale? If you ever played Shenmue back on the
I was just about to say
Sega
Yakuza
Dreamcast,
always seemed like a spiritual successor to Shenmue.
It absolutely is 100%. It's very much like Shenmue. It is open world, but the open world is like the size of 5 or 6 city blocks square. And it's just super dense, tons of shit to do, people that, like, recognize you after a while, stuff like that. Or at least I've only ever played the one, which is, I rented it on a whim a couple weeks ago. Yakuza 0, right? So it's prequel, so good point to hop into this shit. It's a pretty recent game, came out, like, last year. Okay. And I rented it, and I fucking love it. It is so good. It's so much fun. And it has a really serious, good story, right? And I'm really enjoying it. And the side quests and side missions and stuff are straight up wacky, like cartoonish wackiness, which is about as Japanese as it gets. And like I said, they're like hugely popular in Japan, but not so much outside of Japan. And I see why, because it's like Japan, the video game.
I think you told us.
As kind of. Is
it obtuse as shit?
No, not really. It's actually pretty straightforward. So, I'm all excited because I have way too much free time, and if I get bored, I get into like these horrible depression spirals. Like it's just an actual thing. So like I'm practically prescribed video games by my doctor, which is a really stupid way of putting it. It now occurs to me. But the point is that I gotta have something to fucking do. I stumble upon this game just at random because I was bored. It was a rent one, get one free. So I was like, yeah, I'll give it a shot. And I fucking love it. Through sheer cosmic coincidence, Yakuza 6 came out the day after I rented it. So I'm like, oh, fuck yeah. I can just play this whole series now because 6 is supposed to be like the big finale for the main character and everything. And I'm like, oh, yeah, fuck yeah, this is great. The timing is great. And I started making efforts to try to play the other games. And let me tell you, it's impossible. You can't get these fucking games. They're as rare as a good day in the White House. It's fucking nuts to try to play this shit. The first 3 fucking games, the first 2 are PS2 games, and I can kind of find them online sometimes, but it's always like absolutely like shitty condition, stuff like that. Can't find them in used stores anymore. They aren't available on GameFly, so those are right out. The third one, not available on GameFly, not anywhere to rent. It's a PS3 game. I try to find it online. $85 is the cheapest I have seen it online.
Yep.
$85 fucking dollars.
Yep.
Yakuza 4, actually pretty easy to find. It's on GameFly, only about $20 used, not a problem. Yakuza 4 is not an issue. Yakuza 5, for some reason, only came out digitally in the United States. So I have to pay full price for that shit and download it to my PS3 if I want to play it. Can't rent it. And 6 just came out, so we're good there. And I'm kind of okay on Yakuza 1 and 2 because there's a remake of 1 that came out like last year. And that one I'm managing to GameFly, but it's going to take fucking forever to show up because it's not available now, even though it's a year-old game and should be, because apparently these things just are not popular in America. It wouldn't bother me that 5 was digital only if everything after it had also been digital only, because then it would be like, oh, well, man, they just made the decision that it's just not worth it, and that's fine. I get that. But immediately after 5, they go back to doing fucking discs. So I guess 5 did well enough that they felt it was justified to start making disc releases, but they never went back and released 5 on a disc. So I am... And there's a remake of 2 coming out in fucking August. So that's good, I guess. But there's rumors they might remake 3, but if they remake 3, it's going to come out in Japan, and then it's going to take anywhere, based on previous with these games, anywhere between 1 and 4 years to hit over here, if it hits here at all. And I'm just it's just, instead of giving myself this wonderful new series to play, I gave myself a fucking quest, and I don't have the time or money to do the goddamn quest. Okay.
You know,
that's my...
The quest part, when it comes to collectibles, and even though video games shouldn't be, sometimes they are collectibles.
Yeah.
I hate the internet because it's killed half the fun for me. I don't like to explore in video games, but goddamn it, I like to investigate and find shit in real life. And,
I get that.
And so, you know, my quest for like back issues of comics and stuff used to be all consuming, but it was fun, and I'd get friends and family involved, and they'd find rare stuff for me. And the internet's blown all that for me. And especially now that comics are digital, I can just punch it up, the issue I need. It's not the same anymore. And it's funny that you bring this up right now, Kyle, because we were my girl and I, God of War naturally came up because I haven't been to bed once or twice this week because of it. And so she's like, oh, you're crazy. I was like, nah, I'm not crazy. No, you're trying to catch up with Kyle and blah. No, I'm not worried about Kyle. Besides, you know, if he finished the game, you know, good for him, you know, because Kyle has to, when something new comes out, Kyle has to play like every game in the series before he can enjoy the new one. And she's like, well, he's crazy. I was like, well, yeah. I've been telling you that. And then the first thing you talk about today is the precise thing we were discussing.
And that's why we love them.
Exactly. But you know what? As soon as you said you had to look online for the game, I knew it was going to like cost like $11 billion. There's a Sega Saturn Dragon Ball 2D Dragon Ball game that I've been looking for since Sega Saturn was a thing. It's, you know, Japanese import naturally. And I found it on eBay for about $450.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, should have bought it for $100
What's
back
killing
in the
me
day.
is that I know for a fact that I have seen these games in like fucking Meijer bargain bins up until like last year. These games are out there. The only reason they're expensive is because nobody can find them to sell them. So if I had more money and the ability to, like, I don't know, drive, I would be perfectly content to just go from fucking random store to random store for like
fun.
a whole day on the off chance that I might magically run into that shit. And we used to do that all the time. Me and Marika, that used to be one of our favorite weekend activities, was just like going on these grand adventures to try to find my fucking Dragon Ball Blu-rays or whatever. And it was great. But now we have to pay bills and can't afford that much gas money. Yeah. And so I'm totally stalled out. It's internet or nothing. And oh my fucking God,
try Steam?
I did not. I don't have like a gaming I can't really do gaming PC shit. It's really just not my style.
Mine neither, but look, I was just trying to help nigga. I ain't shit.
Hold on, literally opening Steam this second. Because I just got to check now that
Look, it's not my style, but why I'm mad is might as well shit.
I really
No,
hadn't
it's
thought
really
about
not,
it.
but
Pause the
once in
show
a
right
while.
quick so I can go look on shit.
It's not my style, but once in a while, I just
Not
want
his
to
style,
check.
but once in a while he likes to switch it up because that's our friend Kyle.
No,
it's-
I love the fact that the thought never occurred to him to check Steam.
No,
And
it
you-
didn't.
and
They're
you
not
can
there
hear
anyway.
their voice
There was a
go.
good 3 seconds of dead silence there. That was
Yeah,
great.
no, they're not.
That
They're
was
not. They're not on there
fantastic.
anyway. I just checked. But
Okay.
no, never fucking occurred to me to check Steam because I'm not a PC gamer. It's not how I think of it. I don't think. The computer is what I use to look for games to play on other things. It's not.
Yeah,
what I
same here.
play games.
I hate PC gamers personally. Even some of my friends are PC gamers. I hate them too. Ain't no
Oh, it
fun.
killed me, man. My son came over here, and so, I'm playing something on the PlayStation or watching Netflix or something. He really wanted to get a Street Fighter in. So he pulls out his laptop and plugs his giant fucking pro fight stick into the... I was like, you got that shit on your PC? Yeah. Like, why? I can take it with me. Oh, I'll just shut the fuck up. not good about that. But yeah, he's playing Street Fighter like on the BART, which is the subway type train in Northern California. So yeah, portable gaming. Oh, okay. Wait. Speaking of gaming and fight sticks and fighting, there's TBS occasionally shows E-League championships for fighting games and for Counter-Strike too, but that's not as much fun. Counter-Strike does not translate well to televised sports, whereas the fighting games do because it's pretty straightforward. Anyway, we have this new game. They're getting ready for the Evo tournament, the big yearly Street Fighter tournament, and so they have this show on TBS. Instead of showing the normal preliminary rounds, they're showing like a reality show where they got these gamers who are living in a house and they're playing Street Fighter to compete and throw each other out of the house and vote off the island, so to speak. And
Really?
the winner.
Is that fucking real?
I am not bullshitting. And the winner,
Huh.
the winner gets to go on to Evo and represent
the hell?
E-League or whatever. So it didn't sound like a bad concept, and as you're watching, it's not a bad concept because you see on other reality shows where there's a challenge and you have to you get to screw your other players, with your votes or whatnot. They did something what I thought was clever. It's a team play, and they had like a round robin thing, and you had an opportunity to really screw your opponent by choosing your opponent's character for them. And so once you've been in the house for a day or two, and of course everyone has their online reputation, you know who's everybody's main character is. And so naturally, if you're a Ryu player, you really suck at some of these other characters that you've never played with before, so naturally, you pick them. I want to fight. I want you to use Blanca. And so the guy's sitting there like, I don't even know where Blanca is on the character select screen. And so that was actually pretty funny. But the problem, anyway, I bring it up because what sounded like an interesting concept on the surface, it failed miserably in execution because you want to see the fights. No matter what the drama that's going on in the house or the announcers, you want to see the fights. So in the middle, it's like 2 seconds into the fight, suddenly we get a close-up of somebody's hand on the controller. And then we get another shot of the screen, and then we get an intense shot of the player's face. Then we get another shot of the screen. Then we get the shot of the commentators commentating. Oh, my God, did you see that 5-hit reversal? No, because they were showing you guys, telling me about this 5-hitter.
It's in a... Oh,
It's
continue.
terrible.
Finish.
No, that's pretty much it. You couldn't see the fucking fights.
It's an attempt at a crossover hit. They're trying to
It was terrible.
bring like other people into the market.
And I understand that. And I completely understand that. But it was just poorly
And the problem is the people who
the
do
game
that.
sells.
Huh?
The action of the actual video game, this on-screen action sells it to the viewer. That's what the viewers are watching, but the viewers are not. You lose them when you when you take the camera off the goddamn screen.
Yeah.
Then you just got this is a bunch of assholes sitting around with controllers in their laps. It's just not. It's not an interesting visual.
That's what I'm trying to say is maybe the people who did it probably don't actually do video games and probably don't realize that's the shit people want to see. They probably fucking nerds who wants to actually see video games. They want to see the drama in people's faces.
This is like season 3 or 4, and this is the first time they've done a show like this. And the previous seasons have just been, a quick interview, maybe show the contestant at home, and how he practices his little crew of friends or the arcade he hangs out at. And then, just like they do in regular physical sports, they'll do a little background on the player, do a little interview, show his family right quick, then they'll show them on the fucking field. And so that's what they've been doing up until just now, and this is just terrible. So it airs tonight. It's normally on the DVR. I might watch it. I might not, but I'm waiting for the fucking tournament to start so we can stop this nonsense, and I can see somebody get Hadoukened. That's what you pay your cable bill for.
All right.
Okay. That
Be ready
being
for
said,
this.
Kyle, hit the music. All right.
Oh my God.
First things first.
It was just okay.
All you.
Oh my God. You
all
fucking.
you assholes, and not so many, and I can't say assholes. All of you people who were kind of disappointed and came away from Thor Ragnarok with a bad taste in your mouth because of the crappy joke at the end. Well, they opened this movie with a response to that. The last movie ended with, well, Asgard, as long as the foundations hold, boom! Well, those foundations didn't hold at all. Well, I guess no more Asgard. Ha 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 ha. Well, off to great cosmic adventures. This movie opens with,
We are a refugee ship. Please stop shooting us. We contain civilians and families, very, very few warriors. Please, oh, that hurts. Stop stabbing me. Stop stabbing me.
Oh my God. Yeah. So Asgard is just double fucked in these movies now, aren't they?
Yo, it's like, okay, like, I have a theory. This is my theory. This is my theory for Black Panther and Thor Ragnarok. They did not expect those movies to be the hits that they were. Cause that's what it feels like. Like I feel like they looked at Thor Ragnarok and were like, oof, like, well, this ain't gonna be shit. And they end up making damn near $1 billion. Cause that's what it feels like. Like they just didn't watch that other movie. Like, fuck it, we gonna kill them all. That's
I feel like pretty much. I mean, yeah, it's oh my God, Asgard is fucked.
Yeah. Okay. Well, look, I'll just give you my first impressions of the movie. I went with my homie opening night, Friday night, and I came home from the movie about 1 o'clock in the morning. I just sat on the edge of the bed, and I was just sitting there, kind of staring into space. And my girl was kind of woke. I was like, well, "What's going on?" I was like, "What time's the theater open in the morning?" She's like, "What?" I said, "What time's the theater open in the morning?"
Yeah.
So we've got to be there because I really need to talk to you about this. So I need to get you there, like, now. I mean, can you set your alarm? I'll buy the tickets now. I just need you to set your alarm.
Can we give the car there and just wait till they open? Just sleep in the car.
Yeah.
Hey, we don't have to talk because I'm fine just sitting here absorbing this shit.
Yep.
The first thing that happened, they knocked off Heimdall, and I was like, oh, typical. Yeah, they'll kill the brother first, whatever, man. This is some bullshit. I literally got mad for a hot second. I know it's only been, 3 minutes, but this is seriously some bullshit. Then they killed Loki like 4 seconds after I had that thought. I went, ah!
Yep.
No.
Oh,
No,
never mind.
no.
Never mind. They killed the pretty white boy. There's some shit going on here.
Yeah,
Jack, you got the order wrong. Your first thought, oh my God, Thanos just put them hands to the Hulk. Like that's the first thought. Like whoa, stop,
Yep.
stop the press.
There was like
The Hulk caught them hands.
6 heart stoppers in as many minutes.
Yeah.
And Thor just laid out. You don't even see Thor. He's just thrown with the other
He's a body. He's
Yep.
an anonymous corpse.
So if you ask if anybody out there who's wondering if Thanos could have possibly lived up to a fucking decade of build up to like, I think 6 years of build. I mean, a decade of movies, but 6 years since he showed his face at the end of Avengers.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody wondering if he could possibly live up to all of that? If we got a villain that was charismatic and interesting and thoughtful and scary as all shit, yeah.
Got
They
him.
pulled it off. They pulled it the fuck off.
first
Thanos is
5
one of the
minutes.
best villains of all time. Say what?
We've come so far from Avengers. The first Avengers movie, I wanted to wait for the post-credit scene, but I had to run out, and so I left my girl in there, and so I was waiting for her when she came out of the theater. I said, was there a post-credit scene? She was like, yeah, there was. Well, what happened? Well, Loki was in space, and not Loki, but the guys he was working for were in space, and then somebody said something like, to mess with the Avengers is like courting death. And then this purple monkey dude turned around and smiled. I was like, purple monkey dude? And so then, I stopped. We were walking to the car, and I stopped cold, and I just grabbed the nearest moviegoer who was coming out of the theater with a Marvel shirt on.
Yeah.
I grabbed him. Dude, who was at the end of the movie? He said, Thanos. Thank you. Because I thought that's who she might have meant. I was like, purple monkey dude.
I mean, to be fair,
He looks a little different now.
Yeah.
with that armor
they've
on in that
refined his
chin,
design.
with that armor on that chin, I completely see purple monkey dude.
I
Completely.
get it. But
I tell you what, Mrs. Random knows who in the fuck purple monkey dude is now.
Yep.
She knows exactly who in the fuck that
Never
is now.
fucking forget it. Nobody will. This was big.
I mean, it's his movie. I mean, Infinity War is actually the wrong title. It really just because Avengers.
Yeah.
Thanos
that's
fucks everybody up.
one of my chief things about this movie is that Thanos is the main character of this movie.
He's the protagonist.
100%. Yeah, he is. He's the protagonist. His motivations are surprisingly noble, even if they come out all twisted and evil and wrong. His motivations are surprisingly noble. He's the one with the emotional journey to go on in this flick. He's the one who comes across obstacles. He's the one who it focuses on the most in terms of character development and building and stuff like that. The movie stars Thanos, and everybody else is just obstacles.
Here's proof to what you're saying, Kyle. Every Marvel movie thus far, at the very end, after the credits, after the post-credit scenes, there's one sentence at the end of every Marvel movie. The Avengers will return. Ant-Man will return. Thor will return. Infinity War ended, it said, Thanos will return. I fucking howled. That was the biggest laugh I had in the fucking movie. I was the only asshole in the theater just in fucking tears, and nobody knew what I was laughing at. I was like, Thanos will return. That's the greatest fucking joke.
Like, that might be one of the most audacious moves in the whole movie. Especially after that downer ass end. Especially.
And people have argued to me that it didn't feel like it had an ending and that it felt like that middle point of a story. And I said, only if you think it's not Thanos' story. If it's Thanos' story, then it had an ending. He succeeded, and then he went home. That's the ending.
My man Don called me up the other day and was like, hey, did that shit end like that for real? I'm like, what are we even talking about? Infinity War. Did that shit end like that? Thanos sitting on the porch watching the world go by. I'm like, yeah, pretty much. Oh, okay, all right. I watched that shit on my Fire Stick, and I thought I had seen a bold copy. And I thought my shit just cut off on me.
Yep.
Sitting on his porch, watching the sun go by.
So for those of you who ignored our warnings and listened ahead and are getting spoiled as we speak and have not seen the movie, Thanos wins. Point blank, flat out fucking wins. He gets all of the fucking gems, and his goal for the entire flick, and apparently for his entire life, has been to eliminate half of all life in the universe, because he thinks that it is dramatically overpopulated, and that by killing half of it at random, he will make the entire universe into a utopia, at least once the fucking wounds heal, which
sounds good on paper.
Flawed, but I get it. Like, I actually get it. I do. And so he does it. He gets his fucking for the next, like, the entirety of forever, I'm gonna be able to hurt certain friends of mine by snapping my fingers. Like, people who are really invested in this shit, like me, and whose souls are crushed by this, all I'm gonna have to do is look them dead in the eye and go, and they're just gonna be like, oh God, why? Oh. But so not only did they do that, right? But they killed fucking everybody. Everyone. Fucking everyone.
Well, I think the ultimate the thing they really managed to pull off was they brought the Marvel Cinematic Universe to a more manageable size.
Yeah, they did. For one movie anyway, because everything's
fuck your sequel, Spider-Man.
Yeah, but like, okay, so he snaps his fucking fingers, and then everybody kind of is like, oh God, what happened? And then for a minute there, you might think to yourself, well,
no, Kyle, you wrong. He snaps his finger, then the damn thing turns into a goddamn Aronofsky movie.
Yeah, but I'm not. But anyway, I'm not done. But like, he snaps his fingers, and then he has his weird ass. Yeah, but look, point is, right, he does that, and then after he escapes, there's like this beat where you think to yourself, oh, okay, so is half the life in the universe just gone now? Did he just undo it and it's just gone? And then the people start dying. Immediately, right off the bat, fucking out of nowhere, Bucky just turns to ash. Just turns to ash and blows away. And the thing about it is that they made it kind of arbitrary. Like, some of the characters go quick, some of them go slow. There's like random times between it. So you keep having these moments where you start to think that they're done, and then another fucking person turns to ash, and it just keeps happening. They just keep dying. And like the entire theater, I have never felt more tension or despair in a theater. And it keeps rising with every character, and you can tell who in the audience, you can tell the exact moment when their favorite character fucking fights it. Like, there's this girl next to me, and I shit you not, she was like getting increasingly upset as they went, and then Doctor Strange goes, and she started sobbing. And it was just like, Doctor Strange is the one that broke her. And like,
of all people, right?
Well, hey, I get it.
Bummer snatch Kimmerbach. But what was funny was, and we talked about this, you guys remember, my girlfriend and I were not the biggest fans of Spider-Man Homecoming. I just, wasn't my Spidey. My girl felt the same way, wasn't her Spidey. When that motherfucker went to dust, my girl was like, oh no, not Pete. I looked at her, what? She's like, well, I love him now.
Yeah, they make you. And like his death, look, and I say this knowing full well.
The two deaths that work the most in this movie, one is on purpose and one is completely by serendipity. Spider-Man, that's on purpose because they get that motherfucker like a Macbeth death.
Yeah, they gave him a monologue.
They drew that out. And the other one is Black Panther. This is why. This is go back to my theory. They had no idea how big Black Panther was going to be. They filmed these movies on top of each other in Atlanta, right here. They only came out 3 months apart. So basically, he like they was filming this and Black Panther at the same time. They had no idea Black Panther would be the third highest grossing movie in America in 3 months' time. So when that motherfucker goes to dust in my movie theater, it's just gas. Like,
Yep, same thing.
Yeah.
Same
And-
fucking
and
thing.
you know-
Because nobody
and-
expected it. And
and
they
you know they didn't plan for that. But you know, as soon as they seen how big of a hit Black Panther was going to be, they was licking their chops. Like the Russo brothers, everybody was like, oh, that's gonna get them. Like we wasn't even
Yep.
planning for that one for people to cry.
Oh, it's
it
gonna be.
helps that he was one of the ones there was a pause for too. He was
Yeah.
one of the ones where it seemed like
Yeah.
he was okay.
He was reaching
It's
out
like,
for
it
old
seems
girl,
like
and then
poof, just done.
The funniest shit
And-
ever, man. I saw online somebody posted a limited edition Black Panther action figure, like $200. It was a bag of dust.
Yeah, that's good. That's real good.
Oh, you
But
people are terrible.
It's quicker. It's fucking quicker to name the characters who didn't die. That is that is
the
not an
original
exaggeration. That is a legitimately true statement.
That's great.
So
I
who
can
we
tell
have
the story
left?
now. I can tell the story now. My cousin Ricky, who worked on the films, he was a stunt actor for the Wakandans. I've known about this since before Black Panther came out, but there's no point in talking about it because we hadn't seen the movie, and I had no point of reference. Now I do. There's a scene where the Wakanda's surrounded by the force field, and they open a hole in the force field to allow the creatures through, and so our heroes in Wakanda can fight these bad guys. And so anyway, the shot is the Wakandans running towards the enemy, and Cap and Bucky eventually outpacing the Wakandans and leading the charge. Cap and T'Challa.
Panther.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, while they were filming that scene, of course, they had to do it 2 or 3, 4 or 5 times. And, as you do in movies, things have to be filmed multiple times. So anyway, amongst the stunt actors and the Wakandans, shit got a little competitive. Everybody's young and tough and in shape, and, they're running, and everybody's running a little fast, trying to outdo one another. Eventually, the director's like, cut! The next one of you sons of bitches outrun the white boy, you're fired. They had Chris Evans over there just hyperventilating. Just, niggas keep outrunning me. They kept fucking the shot up over and over and over because they kept outrunning Cap.
I'm torn between the method that they clearly used to pick who lives and who dies, which is like story purposes, because so we've got who's left is the original movie Avengers. So Banner, Tony, Steve, fucking
Thor.
Black Widow, Thor, probably Hawkeye, because I think we can
Hawkeye.
assume that if we,
I'm
I think
assuming
we can
what's
assume.
probably going to happen is Hawk.
That nigga lost his whole family.
He lost his family. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I think we can assume that anybody we didn't see die in this movie is probably cool.
Yeah.
Probably just fine.
Well, I bet you Pepper's gone.
Oh, I bet you too, yeah.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
who knows how long it's going to take to... But
Yeah.
anyway, and then, so we got all of them left, and then we have Nebula, which is great
Yeah.
and a big deal, yeah.
Shut up, Jamil.
Yeah.
And
Shut up.
You
We've
think
got
they're gonna do
Rocket.
it?
Yep.
I think they probably are. We got Rocket.
They took out 4/5 of the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Fuck
Yeah,
your
everybody
sequel.
but Rocket.
Fuck your
Everybody
sequel.
but Rocket.
They took out 4/5 of their second most popular team franchise.
Everybody but Rocket is dead. Everyone. Groot is dead again.
Baby Groot, little kid Groot is dead. Not just not grown ass Groot, but
Sullen
little
teen
kid
group.
Yep. Jesus Christ. Yeah. So, and we got a handful of Wakandans that are all really cool, but they're not like superhero characters for the most part.
We got M'Baku. That's
Yes,
all
we
we
do.
need.
That's great.
M'Baku Day, like Rusev Day.
And presumably we have Ant-Man, although I'm not sure.
Yeah,
because,
we've got Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Well, they keep. I've heard very different statements on when Ant-Man and the Wasp takes place. I've heard after, I've heard during, and I've heard before, and all three sources seemed pretty legit. So I don't have the slightest fucking
They
clue.
may be all correct. How long does Infinity War? What kind of period of time does Infinity War take place in?
That's actually a pretty good point.
It might be a couple of days.
Yeah, it might be. It seemed like a couple of days max to me, but
It might be
Yeah.
I would
one
bet
hellish
money.
day. One
Yeah,
hellish
how
day.
fucking funny would it be? How fucking funny would it be if we get to the climax of Ant-Man and the Wasp,
And Wasp vanishes.
or both of them? They just people, like the climax is happening. The villain, the Wasp, and Ant-Man just all turn to ash in the middle of the fucking
And
climax.
Michael Douglas and Michelle Pfeiffer, Hank Pym and Janet Van Dyne got to take up the suits.
Yeah, that would be fucking cool. Actually, that could be really
Yeah,
neat.
What they're probably going to do is it's probably going to be a post-credit scene. If it takes place before, it's probably going to be a post-credit scene. They're probably going to be sitting around having dinner, excited that, like, you know, they just defeated the bad guy. Then Michael Douglas is going to fucking fade away.
Yeah, that would be my bet. I would go the other way because it would be really exciting. That's what I would do. Is I would do what Jack just said. Everybody but Janet and Hank, because that would be genuinely really interesting to see Janet and Hank have to step up and do the suits. Like that would
With
be
no guidance whatsoever. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be very interesting and
Oh
different.
my God!
I
Then
would
you know
like
what?
that.
You know what? Then you know what? We could almost. Then we would, if they did that, we would have the original Avengers.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Like
we
comic
would.
book.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so we're doing movie. So we're getting movie. And the reason I think that they did that is because they're giving us a farewell, and they left Rocket and Nebula because we need somebody to represent the Guardians of the Galaxy. But aside from that, they're giving us, this is our farewell tour, because the vast majority of these people are done with these fucking movies.
What I really liked about the film is how when they spotlighted the individual character or individual team or whatever, that character, that moment felt like that film franchise. The Guardians scenes
Yes.
felt like Guardians movies, and the same thing with the rest of the characters. I thought that was very well done. I eventually read interviews with the creators, the Russos, etc., and they said there's like 70 or so various copies of that draft for these movies, because they kept experimenting on who they were going to pair up together. You know, do we want to run with people who have already been teamed up? That way we could throw them in a new situation and really put that relationship on the line. Or do we combine new characters who've never hooked up and try to find new magic there? And so there, like I said, it's like 70 scripts where they paired up everybody with everybody else to see what would work.
Right.
And they came up with some interesting ones, the ones they went with, you know, Rocket, Groot, and Thor. You know, that was great.
That was great. I got what I have wanted one fucking thing since Doctor Strange and Guardians of the Galaxy came out. All I have ever wanted is to see Quill and Doctor Strange in the same room as fucking Iron Man, because I wanted to see how much the ego would explode. I wanted to see.
And there was a three-way tie there.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, yeah,
there was
yeah.
a fucking ego singularity. It like.
Well, it's fucked up when Iron Man is your voice of reason. That's how bad it was. Just
Oh yeah.
like when Iron Man's like, look, guys, we need to chill. Look, okay, so like, it's funny,
Oh.
right? Everybody's biggest criticism of the Doctor Strange movie was where it's just like the Iron Man movie. And like I said before, well, all these origins are the same because, they was all written by the same guy.
And all the origin stories, they're just still the basic hero's journey. Just
Yeah.
the basic
So
bottom line.
It's
So.
kind of hard to avoid.
Right, that's
So
how
no-
heroes start, sort of.
So like they was like, well, since he's basically Tony Stark, let's just pair him with Tony Stark. How about that? And see how that goes. And
Worked
that's
for Frasier, two Frasers.
yeah, exactly.
Two Tony Starks. Let's just see what happens. It
And
went quite well.
I'm upset no one said no shit Sherlock. Someone should have said no shit Sherlock. I know.
Oh yeah,
That would have been cheap.
because they're both Sherlocks.
Yes.
That would have been a good decision.
We were discussing, me and a couple other guys, well, what are they going to call the next movie? And the first thing out of my mouth, and I immediately saw the genius in it, then I saw how stupid it was the next movie should be called Avengers Assemble. Then I went, no, it's stupid, because by making that the title, you are robbing your audience of the most anticipated battle cry in movie history.
Yeah.
Because at some point in that movie, Captain America is going to stand at the top of the mountain, and he's going to holler, "Avengers assemble," and everybody in the audience is going to get their dicks hard, even the women, and it's going to be on.
Also, that's the British title of the first Avengers movie.
Are you shitting me?
No, they couldn't call it Avengers because in England there's a
Emma Peel and
Well, I thought that's why everywhere you see it, like if it comes on TV, if it's in the guide, it'll say Marvel's Avengers. And
no, it's Avengers Assemble in England.
So weird. That's so weird because the official title in America is Marvel's Avengers. Marvel's is
Yeah, I
actually
know.
in the title.
Yeah, I agree. It's a little unusual, but I don't know how their copyright law works. But that is a true confirmed thing. I've spoken to British people.
Stupid Uma, whatever the fuck her name is, movie.
Uma Thurman. Yeah.
Ralph
Well,
Fiennes.
no, the Avengers go back to the 60s.
No, I
Yeah,
understand
no,
that.
it's
I
originally
understand that,
a TV show.
but I'm the oldest cat here. You think I don't fucking know that?
Oh, excuse us.
Jesus Christ!
Hey
Hey guys, that was
apologize.
my first Avengers. Okay,
Apologize.
before I knew
Sorry.
about the comic book.
Sorry, we overstepped. You see this no wild shit. It even alienates us sometimes.
I'm
to each other.
thinking the copyright probably had expired up until that fucking Uma Thurman movie came out.
I'm just done trying to predict shit because
Bruh,
I got it.
Do you
completely
know
fucking
you were top
wrong
of
again.
mind? You were top of mind almost the entire movie, the entire runtime of that movie, Kyle.
I got nothing.
Because
I don't
was
know
like-
why. I don't know
was
what
like,
happened.
Oh God, this just completely obliterates Kyle's theories.
Yep.
Dude, 5 minutes in when Loki bought it, I was like, ooh, Fulton's not gonna like that.
Nope. I was
your
no, I mean I
theory?
loved it. I loved everything, but I was wrong about it all too. I don't know what the hell happened. I predicted the entire first phase and fucking the Vision. I predicted those things like I got them all exactly fucking right. I saw it all coming a mile away. And then the minute we switched over to Iron Man 3, it's like Trevor Slattery broke me. It broke my ability to guess shit in movies because I haven't gotten anything right since. I'm just.
What was your theory for Infinity War? I don't remember.
I
His
was
shit was mainly for
absolutely
Beyond Infinity War,
positive. Yeah, I
but
was absolutely
his thoughts
positive.
for Beyond Infinity War, just the Russos just shit on it.
Yeah, no, there's no way in hell it's happening now. I thought that this one was going to wrap up. I didn't think that we were going to get the snap end with everybody dead. I thought we were going to just have a totally wrapped up flick, and that Thanos was going to, like, in desperation, use the time gem stone to go back and then put and like help the Skrulls take over from the past, which is why we would then have the Captain Marvel movie
Basically,
taking place in the 90s.
Basically, Kyle inserted an entire race of aliens.
Well, no, we know for a fact they're going to be in. We know that they are going to be in Captain Marvel. They've confirmed that the Kree Skrull War is a big old thing, which makes sense.
The way Marvel
you know,
has been doing things, though, the Kree Skrull War will probably be over in 90 minutes. With
yeah.
No,
but my
you know,
hopes were just that like my thoughts, I guess hopes, whatever, was that, and then Avengers 4 would be Secret Invasion, because that would make it a smaller scale movie, which is what they've been saying they wanted to do for a little while, but make it way more emotional, because you could basically pick characters at random, flip a coin, and be like, that guy's been a Skrull the whole fucking time now because of time travel. So here's your fucking heartache. Like, oh no, Tony's a Skrull or whatever, like you could do it.
Yeah, they got the heartache covered in this
Yeah.
film.
Kyle,
who do
no
we-
offense, Kyle, that was way too elaborate.
We
Yeah.
told him that last week.
Oh, we
It
did?
makes
Okay.
sense. It
Because
still
of-
makes sense.
Like, Kyle, what you're doing is starting another 12-movie franchise with that one
Yeah.
damn thought.
It's starting another 12-movie franchise if we want to do it justice, but I was trying to think the way that people make movies.
That's
was
not how they
thinking-
make movies. Kyle,
Clap it.
Kyle, that was as bad as people say, oh, I know Alan Warlock going to be in this movie. Like, no, he's not. Like, you see that Silver Streak? That's the Silver Surfer.
Hey, but you know
He's
what?
going to be in
We're going to wrap in a minute, so let's say this real quick. Very happy to finally get comic book Thor in a movie.
Oh my God!
Very happy to get comic book Doctor Strange in a movie. Very happy to get a super technologically advanced Tony Stark in a movie.
Yep.
The nanotech armor, that's comic Tony right there.
Yeah.
Yes, it
Yeah,
is.
it's something you said. What was it, Kyle? That said like every person, every person they went to, it seemed like they movie, except for Thor. They made that better. That seemed like
it was more of the Ragnarok feel. But then again, the Russo said, they did extensive sit-down discussions with the director of Ragnarok, extensive sit-down discussions with the guys who made Spidey and Black Panther, et cetera, et cetera. They wanted to make sure everything felt right. And anytime they'd submit their whatever the current script was to the Black Panther team and to the Iron Man team, and then they give feedback like, no, Tony wouldn't do this, or T'Challa wouldn't do this, and they'd fix that.
My God.
And
they're the hardest working motherfuckers in Hollywood.
Well, dude, there was a lot riding on this. Okay, there was a fucking lot riding on this. And so they tried to cover all their bases, even plot points from previous movies. They were like the Nova Corps Xandar, fuck them, I blew Xandar up last week. I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
But
Thor mentioned Thor, that shit.
They changed. Thor is not like Ragnarok Thor. This Thor is very much in line.
This is a Thor who had been through that Ragnarok.
Yeah.
That speech he gives to Rocket up to how he's 1,500 years old. He's killed more men than Thanos. He's just another person for him to take down. Like, that's Thor.
Yeah.
Because my problem been with Chris Hemsworth is he's always seen more frat boy than God, and he finally seemed like God in this, God.
Yeah, I agree. I think they split the difference really well, and I hope that if they do get around to a Thor 4, which actually might happen because he's the only one of the original contract guys who has shown any
interest, continuing,
and he didn't even do that until he worked with Taika Waititi, and now he's like, maybe I could do another couple because that one turned out good. Taika Waititi could learn from those couple of scenes because splitting the difference is perfect. He had his comedic moments. His constantly calling Rocket a rabbit was fucking funny as hell, but it didn't take out of the moment at all. It felt that was the kind of thing movie Thor would do. But it was movie Thor under extreme duress and acting like it. And that was really cool.
And it wasn't undercut by Rocket reacting violently to being called a rabbit. He just said, okay, fuck it. That's what the God pirate wants to call me. The angel pirate. Pirate angel. That's what they call him.
Giant Peter Dinklage.
The one, he was a dwarf. He was a dwarf. But one thing I really liked, I understood where the humor was a little almost cringeworthy, almost over the top, was when Guardians and Thor first meet, and then the posturing between Star-Lord and Thor.
Yeah.
But I think that was on purpose.
Of course, you could excuse it because that was exposition. You got Thor's backstory. You got what happened in the last movie in Thor. He ran down what happened in Ragnarok. And Star-Lord ran down what happened in his last movie.
Yep.
And they both did it in the dialogue, and now we don't have to see either one of those movies.
Yep. It was really well done.
And
this whole movie.
Right. You got to know exactly who both characters were. They did it in joking dialogue, and they covered a lot of ground with those few little clips.
God damn, what a great fucking movie.
It was.
Holy shit.
And here's the
only
thing.
It was missing was Doctor Strange hollering out the names of his spells as he cast them. That was it. If he had done the hoary host of Hogarth, I'd have shit myself.
Oh, you and me both, Jack. You and me both.
I just read the oath.
By the Vishanti!
I just read the oath for the first time the other day, and by the
hoary host of
fucking hosts. Like they got the bleep out thing in the middle there. By the hoary fucking hosts is one of the funniest things I have ever. I cracked up in the middle of the fucking night.
It's a
I've had to apologize to
Jack,
people.
I know we gotta wrap up, but well, guess what? You might have to just restart this recording. I just want to go back to Thanos for a minute, and how the complaint I've heard about this movie is there's no character development, and
I hadn't heard that.
I have that there's no character development for any other characters, and you know what? That's true, but this the thing that's going by an old metric. the reason Thanos was allowed to be such a good villain is because we don't have to build up none of these other characters. We
Right.
know these characters. We've known them for 10 years. So
They've had
so
their
you
growth.
can, yeah, exactly. So you can give Thanos all this screen time to breathe. The best scene with Thanos is like really just him sitting talking to Gamora like on the throne.
Yes.
Like
it was
just
so good.
like it was so natural. It was so like matter of fact. It wasn't like it's like they spent
Brolin
thousands
needs
of
to get more credit than I think he's getting.
And-
Because he pretty
and
much
I'm
just voiced a CG character. But
I think he did mocap, didn't he?
well,
and
absolutely.
I'm just saying all this to say this, man. The Justice League really sus in comparison.
Yeah,
to
it does.
Steppenwolf.
Yeah, it does.
Let me
It's a
say
total-
this. I came on. I posted. Oddly enough, one of the biggest DC fans I know, DC movie fans, cat named James. James is he's a nut for DC movies. I told him. It goes beyond that. So I said to him, man, I came home and wanted to break my Justice League Blu-ray. He said, me too. And that should tell you everything you need to know.
That's a good point to end on.
Yo,
Holy fucking shit.
You're
y'all,
not
he
beating
looked
that.
so good. Like he almost looked too real. Like when
Yeah,
Thor,
he almost looked too real.
look when Thor like picked that goddamn axe in that nigga chest, and he got up close to him. He was like, and like you could see the pores in his face. I was like, oh, I was really unsettled because standing next to a giant 8-foot purple dude is terrifying. He looked terrifying in a way Steppenwolf never did, because Steppenwolf like a PS3 game.
Yep.
Like that motherfucker. And like the best piece of acting in the movie to me, the second best piece, like the two best pieces of acting in the movie was from him. The second piece was when like he realized he has to like throw Gamora off that fucking like, and it's not even the cry. It's like Red Skull said, a soul for a soul, and he turns real quick and looked at him like the realization of it, like shit.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
Like it was just a quick turn of his head, but
He
it wasn't like
instantly knew what he had to do and was
and like it wasn't robotic. It didn't seem out of place. It was very like natural. Yeah, it was very human, and it just like, fuck, man. It's just
greatest monster that the Avengers have ever fucking faced, that any of these people have ever had to deal with, is the most believable, human, and sympathetic fucking character in the goddamn franchise. I feel so much for fucking Thanos. I feel for him. He murdered my heroes, like all of them, like
Movie
everybody
Thanos
I like best.
It's way better than comic Thanos.
Is 1,000% better than comic Thanos. I was never feeling comic Thanos. Comic Thanos' motivations were entirely
I love them so much.
Too comic booky, honestly, but
Yeah, they're so silly.
I think it's great that in this movie they were able to improve Thanos' character and accomplish his goals, but change his motivations entirely, but his goals were exactly the same.
Yep, that's impressive.
He has it's kind of an altruistic idea, the reason he's doing what he's doing in the movie. In the comic, the only reason he wants to kill half of the universe is to impress a chick. That's it. That is the only reason. Some reason or another, Thanos has become obsessed with the physical embodiment of death, which is pretty much just the Grim Reaper with tits, who has never spoken to him and will never speak to him. He knocked off half the universe and said, "Look, baby, look what I did for you." And she went, and turned her back. And he was like,
and he cried. Then he cries. He cries like a little girl.
Movie Thanos.
They basically kind of turned him into Darkseid a little bit. I was like, you know what? DC can't do shit right. They can't even do Darkseid right. Like, they just should give up.
Yeah, I'm about... If they wanted to just cement their total domination of DC, this was how you do it.
After that, that's pretty much a podcast.
And
Shit.
there's so much. I mean, look.
No, we'll be talking about this for the next 3 shows.
We didn't even talk
Guaranteed.
about
Yeah,
the henchmen.
guaranteed.
We didn't even
We'll
fucking talk about Ebony Maw and all them niggas.
The bad guys who you Jamil
Yes,
Payne,
I know.
who you were
know.
not
They're so
feeling
cool.
upon announcement.
Right.
You're like, I don't think they should be the she.
Yeah,
did.
we'll just
Ebony Maw.
put a pin in that. That's next week.
That
We'll
and
try
the
to
fact
set
that,
aside a half hour every show for the foreseeable fucking future to talk about
Man.
fucking Infinity War.
Right. So till Thanos throws a moon at us, he threw a moon at us.
Threw a fucking moon at him.
Planetoid.
It wasn't like he threw a moon at the Hulk. He threw a moon at a dude in a metal suit.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah, can I say one thing? I do love the fact, like I don't know if nobody else picked up on this. They gave the gauntlet limitations that
Oh yeah, I picked up on it.
Like in the comic, that gauntlet has no limitations, but they clearly gave the gauntlet. Like
Yes.
it's almost like he could only use one power
At a time,
and
Yeah,
he
it's
has to. Huh? Go ahead.
I was
sorry.
gonna say, I was gonna say, but it's like a whole half-hour conversation that you're.
Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right. I can.
Well, I did
I can
like
do-
that every time he used, you could see that individual gem light up, whichever power he was using. And I like the way the glove kind of fused. And I like the explanation, because I always had a problem with the thought of a special gauntlet, a special glove, because in the comics it was just his left glove. He just stuck the gems on his regular space leather glove. But I like the explanation that, the Asgardians, he was contracted to make something that could house the power of the stones without destroying his hand. That made sense. Good movie, guys. Good movie. So, not Avengers related. There's a show on TBS called Final Space. It is an animated series. The first season finale is tonight. I believe it's 10 episodes. Please watch it. It's very, very good. It's classic space opera. The hero's kind of a lovable dork like Star-Lord, except he's dumber. But it's a good show.
That's saying something, especially what Star-Lord did in this movie.
But
Saying he's dumber.
That wasn't dumb. That was emotion and stupid, but mainly emotion. But no, this guy's just kind of dumb, but a hero. So watch Final Space on TBS. Please like, share, and subscribe our podcast. We enjoy having you, so please listen, share us with your friends. They'll like us too, guarantee it. And if they don't, you need new friends. So for Jamil Payne and for Kyle Fulton, I am the Macadocious DJ Jack Random. Check us out next week. More craziness. We love you. Goodbye. We are out.